Everybody, welcome back to Getting Started with Think or Swim. My name is Mike Fairborn. I'm sitting in for Cameron May, who should be back next week. But folks, I really wanted to spend some time today talking about maybe 10 things at least. Maybe I'll have a couple bonus ones at the end as well. With the Think or Swim platform to really make your trading easier. I noted your trading life easier, which is also true. But there are a lot of great tools that I've learned over the past almost 2 decades using this platform. And I wanted to relay those to you in this discussion today to keep that trading and those approaches efficient and effective on the platform and just other things you're looking to do on that platform as well. So with that, I'd like to welcome you all here. I'm joined in the chat by a good friend and colleague of mine, Ben Watson. You see me in the chat as BW. Ben, a 30 plus year veteran of the markets. It's great to have Ben on board, very knowledgeable on the Thinkorswim platform as well. Folks, any questions or comments you have, definitely throw those into the chat box so we can address those. Hello to you, Austin, Philip, Jenny, Constant. We've got Snowball here. We've got NUP, and we've got Joe and Robert and others. Great to have you all here, folks. We'll go ahead and jump into some disclosures right now so we can get going here, but really looking forward to this discussion and sharing with you some of the specific tools that I use to kind of make my trading more efficient, more effective, and just easier in general in terms of not just specifically trading, but working through that platform and just some things hopefully to enlighten you as well. So with that, some disclosures as we get going here. Now, options carry a high level of risk. They're not suitable for all investors. The paper money software application is provided for educational purposes only. Now, there is no guarantee that the execution of a stop order will be at or near the stop price. We'll put in a sample trade today. Investing involves risks, including the loss of principal. For some products and strategies, loss of more than your initial investment and past performance is no guarantee of future results. A quick note too in this class, just to be mindful of each and every week, we do have a list or a series, we'll say, a series overview of topics of different lessons that we'll discuss in here as the coaches will go through and explain each of these as we go through it. But today, wanted to make it kind of unique because I know we've got a bigger group here today, and I wanted to just focus really kind of across the board, hitting a number of these areas, just the top 10 with, like I said, a couple, two, three bonuses at the end. We'll make it maybe 12 or 13 notes or points on the Thinkorswim platform that could be helpful and useful for you. So with that, let's get going here. Welcome to all of you just joining us here as well. So, we're starting off here. What I'm going to do starting off first, I did want to kind of work this way. In fact, let me open this up on the left-hand side over here. So first of all, generally what I want to do is kind of work over here on the left-hand side, maybe kind of the upper portion as well of the Thinkorswim platform, and kind of move over to the right, kind of in an orderly fashion and hit some of these areas. Although I might jump into some of these areas a little bit earlier, just to show you where there are some ways to kind of combine two areas into one. But just to give you a general idea, we'll do that and get going. So first up, anytime within the Thinkorswim platform, you link additional accounts to the platform. In other words, a joint account, a single account. Maybe let's say, for example, a 401k, an IRA, whatever they might be. You can come up top where it does say account here and just click on this drop down and it will list those. You can select that account. Now, a new feature too, as I'm in here, is you can click on check trading features. This will pull up all your accounts. So you might have, like, for example, down here, your IRA listed, okay? A 401k listed down here. And what it's going to show, as long as you have the check marks in, I'm in a demo account right now, so it does look a little bit different. So just kind of highlighting. See the current one I'm in right now? I could have several in here if it was like my live trading account. Now, down below here, it will show your trading features and it will show you what authorizations, what trading authorizations you might have across a mix of other accounts or just different types of trades that are out here. I should say types of instruments that are out here as well. That would be listed down below, and you would actually have that showing down here. It shows a little bit different in my demo account, but it's a great way to know what your authorizations stand in case, let's say, for example, you want to do I have options availability in this particular account and what level of options? Very quick, you can find it right there. All right, so just wanted to highlight that just initially. Now on the left-hand side, into the gadgets. Okay, I think many of you already use these. This might be somewhat basic for you on a few of these, but yeah, a lot of great tools. I just click down here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, the plus sign. Now, I made kind of a quick move to open this up at the beginning. Very important move, though, to note. How do you open up that left-hand side window? Well, you've got that little arrow pointing to the left over there. You want to click this, I'll show you, to make your screen bigger if you wanted it, or to make it, to throw that gadget window in. A lot of times I just go back and forth throughout the day just by clicking on that little line. You can see the cursor highlights different when you're right there and it lights up. Okay. Well, with that, a quick note into watch lists as we get over here. I should say watch lists and gadgets in general over here. Notice the very first thing we have open is account info. Exactly right. We've got our account info listed, and right now mine is all grayed out. So I can come down here and just go into the gadget window, into the little dropper, that little action icon up top. If I click on that and go to my customized gadget, folks, you can put in a number of different sort of items available listed over here on the left-hand side and throw those over in here into the right. Okay, so you can take a look at these as well, right? And have them totally available and easy access up there just to see, what's my liquidity like, what's the option buying power, etc. on down the line. That's the account info. Now, once you get in here, and you can see I've got a number of these accounts set up. I just wanted to highlight. I'm just going to choose this one right here. It says current account. If I were to click on a watch list down here, go into default, you can see at the very top, current account positions. If you want to see what account positions you've got, such an easy way to look at it. Left-hand side, you got it. Got several option positions in here that we put into our accounts, and then just core positions listed down below. Now, a quick note on this, if I click on this, this is really helpful because, if I wanted to see this, I've got some data here and I can actually adjust these columns as well, like right clicking. That's a right click on the mouse. Now that would be a PC or a Mac. It wouldn't matter. You can get that either way. Just go to customize and then you can have all these different columns that you might want to put in here. I think these are some of the basic ones that a lot of traders will use. Net change, percent change is another big one you could put in here to make the comparisons easier. I'll just show you that one real quick. If we were to add one in, it's right at the top, percent change, and I can just click on it and drag it up to the top. I'll put it right after the last, and there you go. I'm just going to widen these columns out to fit the percent change in there. Very quick, very easy. One of the great things about the platform is whatever I put on the platform and I save it, it saves those settings and it loads those same settings up at the beginning if I wanted to get them. So whatever you put on the chart, lines on the chart, as you can see over here, whatever the case might be, folks, those will automatically load up and it will keep it there for you. Great stuff to have. Now, right here in this little link, a good quick way to get through these charts is just to simply go, to get through what you've got, the positions. I'll go down into some core positions here, but say, for example, we're looking at some of these and we've just gone down our list and whatever it is, here is DuPont. You can simply just click on it and notice it populates the chart because I have linked in red here these two together. There's another drop down link. This is something I have had on here for a couple decades, right? Or at least very close to that. I've never really taken it off. And why would you? You probably want to have something that you can link on very, very easily. And that is one of those great tools. You can also link that too. By the way, click. Once you're on here, you can hit the return button and just go through and see how some of these have been performing as of late. Okay. Now, with that, that did take us to our charts, but I could also put this into the trade tab too. And by the way, that link spot, if I don't have it linked, remember, it just shows that chain like we had over here and like it still shows on this one. This one's not linked yet, but you've got it right there. So just link it to the same color. I've always just kept them all the same color. It's just the easiest for me. Everything across the board, whatever I click on or whatever I type in here, DAL or whatever, because this is in red, guess what the chart's going to be now? chart is going to be Delta Airlines because it too is linked in red. Now, if I were to come over here and go back to Cisco as an example, what is my chart going to be? Or excuse me, my trade? Cisco. Whatever you're clicking on, it updates all the other tabs. It's great. And that's really helpful when you are on the gadgets, folks. So you can link charts, you can link others in here as well. There are others. There's the Analyze tab, and there are more things to look at as well. So that's cool. Great to have. I really encourage you to come in here and to look at what else is available. There are a lot of personal watch lists that have been created. How did I create those? On the Thinkorswim platform, there is more than one way to do it. You can always, once you open up a gadget window, like we did, a watch list window in gadgets, come over here and just go down here to create watch list or something like that. You can put that in. You can create your own watch list. You can import symbols as well. But say, for example, I'm going to clear this one out just so we have the whole process intact. Watch list, click on this, uh, create watch list, and I can start typing some stuff in, S&P 500, uh, let's see, news or whatever, something in the news that I wanted to put down. I could do that, and I would just come down here and plug in those symbols, Apple, enter. Come on down, uh, Google, whatever the case is, enter. And then if I click save, it will be here. And quickly, I will find that right up top here. So I wanted to show you how to use it, but it is a quick approach. Just to kind of complete that, it'll be in your personal folders, a lot of public folders as well too. But the linking is very, very helpful. Now let's go into our monitor tab as we start over here. Okay. All right. I'll try to really explain it as best I can to cut down on the number of questions so everything is as clear as possible here. But yeah, if you do have questions, let us know, but definitely give it a shot. Okay. So over here, you can see what we've got under the monitor tab. Now, this is just a quick way to know what working orders you have out there. If you have any stop orders, any field orders on the day. So it's on the day. This is where anytime you want to go, just to see what you've got out there or whatever is happening. If I have for example, a stop order, I can come in here and just see what I've got. Has it been filled? Of course, I could check and see what was filled today as well, right over here. Some other things too, I think that make it more efficient and easier is on our columns over here. You can see this is the equity and equity options. I was just looking. These were a couple of trades we put in a while back. You can see how much they've run just on this AI boom. But that's helping this little portion of the account quite a bit. Some of these AI trades, no doubt about it, just in paper money. But what if I wanted to see something over here that I'm not seeing? Like, say, for example, if I wanted to come over here and change these columns, well, I've got a little customized box over here, and I can still add all of this information that I might want to see. Now, some of these are indicators, and that might not be as valuable for sure. But maybe you are following an indicator. You want to know where the price, let's say, for example, the RSI indicator is over here. You could do it, just see what the number's at. It would give you the number. But there are a lot of details over here that can be looked at, folks, and can be added in for sure. As you take a look at this. So that would be, and by the way, to do that, if I wanted to say 1 year or 1 week percent change on something like this, I could click on this, pull it over here, and I'm going to get my 1 week percent change. It just shows what you have under your positions you've got listed here. Now that's a ThinkScript. ThinkScripts aren't guaranteed for time of this year, actually. I talk a lot about ThinkScripts in the ThinkScript class, which is actually tomorrow, and where we have some of these scripts. But just as a quick note, that would be something that could be done. Looks like these are still loading up. But say, for example, you could do that. You could come over here too. And oh, let me just do one more thing. I'm going to click on just this icon up top right here. This happens to be the new layout. Some traders might have it as an old layout where they just lump everything together. I've made a new layout with new groups in here, and I've added these groups like equities. There was a ThinkScript one here. We've got short puts. There are others in here. You can just click down here and add a group and create separate groups if you want to categorize what specific trades you have specifically, that you're using. All right. So that's a lot of information already, but I'm trying to hit the highlights to make this a little bit easier for you. Now, um, coming over here too, just to the right, next sub-tab, account statement. This is really, really useful. Remember, monitor tab, account statement. This can be helpful. Let's say, for example, somebody wants to see, let's say they're in an income producing fund or whatever it is, a money market. They just want to see, are there interest payments being made to the account? How about a dividend coming in? You can do all that right through here. Of course, you've got your trade history. This is done. This is the way, one of the ways I found to do it the easiest. Instead of putting in a date, just go like days back. What's this? 2 days back. Going to be a lot less trades, right? That we've done in here, for example, 2 days back. But you got trade history, trade orders. Now, the difference there is you put in an order, but it might not be filled. Notice we have 4 filled orders and there were 4 in the trade. These are actual trades, 3 that were canceled. A good quick way to find that, just go up top and flip that. Now, if I wanted to find a specific stock over here, look at this, CAT, just type in the symbol up top. So very, very quick. I'm trying to kind of highlight a couple of the key 1 through 10 points and then give you some of the information behind each one. But if I just click on enter here, I'm back. Now, what about this? What about dividends or anything being paid into the account? Very helpful. I mean, you want to know that kind of information, but maybe you want to look at that on something like over the last, I'll just say 10 days. Okay. And with that, I'm going to go up to cash sweep. Cash sweep over here, cash and sweep vehicle at the very top. It's the very top one I'm clicking on. Go to the right, transactions. Under transactions, I'm just going to take everything off except for dividends. Now, this is a demo account. I don't receive dividends or interest into a demo account, right? We just don't, nothing's coming back from the market. We're just placing, for example, paper trades in this demo account. But that's where you'd find it if you wanted to see did a dividend come in or not. I've often done that in my own account just to confirm. And over the years, there's been a couple times where I didn't get it when I was supposed to get it, or it came in extremely late, or there was an issue with it. So this can be helpful if you have dividends or interest that you want to confirm landing into your account. Trades, deposits. Do you want to see a deposit coming in or a withdrawal? Confirming the amounts. Great place to check right there. Monitor tab, account statement. Okay. So there are some other areas here too, but let's get into a quick area within the trade tab as well. Okay. Let's see here. Can the background color to level 2 be changed? It's annoying. That's a good question, Joe. I don't know. Maybe Ben might have an idea. I'm not sure. Ben probably looking at it right now. I know I would change the background color, but you're being specific on level 2. Good question. We'll see what we can come up with, and I can try to look into that too in a bit as well. See, Kevin says, I'd like to send to the monitor and scan tabs. It makes looking at stuff easier. There we go. Great stuff. Appreciate that, Kevin. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trade tab up top. Now, a lot of different ways to place a trade as well on here. One of the quick notes, we're just going to look at a stock trade. Of course, we have our option chain below. If you want to get a sense of maybe the volatility of a stock, a good quick way to do it, just hit this drop down below underlying. Some interesting information you get right there. PE ratio. So drop down under the underlying is one of those things that are really, really helpful. Dividend, when is the ex-dividend date? And then over here to the far right, we know that the market, the S&P 500, has a beta of 1, which is a reflection of a stock's volatility over periods of time. This is very, very close to the volatility of the market right here. If you were to throw something in like a Coke or whatever, it should be, less than that, like a staple, 35, about a third of the volatility of the general market. So if the market's moving up, let's say 1%, this might be moving up a third of a percent, all else equal over the time frame measured for that beta. Great little tool just to kind of get a sense of how volatile a stock might be. Really quick and easy at your fingertips there. Now, for the trade itself, I am going to a couple of things. We can just left click on the ask or left click on the bid to buy or sell a position, right? Maybe one of the easier ways to do it, I think that's probably one of the most common ways to place a trade. But if you'll right click, you can do these customized orders. OCO bracket. And all I wanted to do, and we can just do a paper money trade on even, look at that. Cokes is breaking higher today. Let's say somebody is thinking it's going to continue up. Let me just show you on a 50, we'll just do 50 shares here, half a round lot. At the bottom, I've got a market, a limit, and a stop. I'm not going to set these. I'm going to put these two orders, the limit and the stop, at a good till cancel. I'm going to come over here, turn this into a 50 share, tab through, and click on my link right there. So it links that 50 up across the board. So we've got our 50 in terms of the trade, and then we've got the two potential, exits. One cancels the other, and our stops over here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this at an arbitrary number and watch how this is really cool and effective. I'm just going to go 90 here for our limit, and down below on our stop, I'm going to say something like 80. Now, I'm going to adjust these on the chart. So this is the next key thing I wanted to show you, uh, making some of these levels very quick and easy to adjust around different, maybe support or resistance levels or around the trend. Awesome way to do it. Come down here, click on confirm. Okay, read that trade, get what we want. We'll send that through. There it goes on Coke. Somebody playing, for example, a potential breakout. Come over here on the chart tab. Now, do you see these on the chart? They're from the trade. We've got our target up top and our potential exit level, like the stop, down below. What if I wanted to put that stop up a little higher? Instead of going into the monitor tab, back to activity and positions, back to working orders, finding the working order and making sure it's the right one. It's the target, that we have up at the 90, not the 80 range, but the 90 for the stock that we're after, which is Coca-Cola. Notice there's been about 5 steps I've done already. And then, of course, right clicking on it and changing that order instead of all those steps. And it was more than 5, to be honest with you. We had to drill down into it. Just do this. Go to your chart and do a drag and drop. Click on that stop, pull it to wherever you want. I'm going to say just below this sort of what appears to be support level. It updates my order, and all I need to simply do is click on send. That's a quicker way to change that stop order, right? It's a lot quicker way. If I wanted to adjust a stop, let's say I want to put a little bit below 90, whatever you're looking to do, using a price pattern or whatever, that's closer to 89. Pulled it down. It was a drag and drop, but I've got to left click, hold it and pull it up or down, right? And then I can come over here and then just send that one. I've adjusted both of those instantly on the chart at levels that I can also see that might be support and resistance, and not having to come back and say, what was that level I was looking at? What was this level up here? And by the way, if prices really start to run big, is there anything stopping me from maybe raising my target if I thought the target was going to be stronger? Folks, absolutely not. I can drag it as I see fit. Okay. Now, um, I'll get to the charts here. Actually, maybe we can just do a quick transition to charts. I think that's a good idea just to go there, and then we can hit some of the others because they'll tie into our other categories a little bit better. So let's go on into charts now and show you some really, really cool tools here. Now you'll notice over here on the charts to make your trading life easier, right? Over here, we've got earnings, and we've got a conference call where they talk about the earnings. And by the way, the earnings, if you just point to it over here, it will give you the estimated number and then the actual number. Now, if I were to see something coming over here into the future, it would be nice to know. Say, for example, this is the dividends. That's the ex-dividend date. In other words, to be qualified to receive that dividend, I have to buy it one day before that ex-dividend date. That's what this shows. So you can see it right there, 6:15. I'd have to buy it at 6:14 in order to get it. Now I can sell anytime after. I can actually even sell on that day. But to get it, you have to be in there beforehand, right? Before that date to get it. But isn't that nice to know? Would it be nice to know if there was earnings coming out in the future? It sure would. And it will show you that too, but you got to be able to put them on the chart if you don't already have them there. I don't believe it's the default because I know many of you are new to this class. So do this, go to the wheel up top, which is chart settings, click on this, and then just go simply right into equities up top. Now, while you're here, I'm just going to highlight, this is the only place you find volume too. Some people would call volume an indicator. I kind of call it an indicator. It's a little bit different in a sense. But if you want to have volume on your charts, you got to have that checked. So you got to be in that same spot. But you also, to our key point, you need to have that show corporate actions open to get the earnings release, the earnings date. You want to get the conference call as well as dividends. Have that checked. While I'm at it, this is a great place to make these other kind of hidden adjustments. Show extended hours. You're only going to see this on an intraday chart. You can also highlight those two here. I've got them both highlighted. So if I go intraday on a chart, I've got that here. For example, here is my 5 minute chart. Yeah. I don't have it. Hang on a second. Oh, I have to have the top box selected for this. It was on my daily. It didn't matter. But if I wanted to go, I have to select it here on the 5 and watch what happens. See, now I've got after hours. So I'm trying to give you a couple little bonus things within here too that, I think are really, really helpful to see if you want to kind of recognize, hey, how is this doing after hours? Well, you can see Coke ran up pretty well after hours yesterday, after the close and then pre-market, it ran up a little bit again. Or I'd say, yeah, but kind of flat after hours, but ran up pre-market. You can check that out right there. Okay. Back to the chart. Okay, now you'll notice over here too, I just did some clicking. Easy, easy way to get to time frames that you use often. I use the daily 35 pretty frequently. Some will use the daily, the 1 hour, and the 10 minute. Whatever the case, whatever you're using to look at intraday charts, you've got it right there. I actually slipped one in over here too on the far left as the weekly chart I can look at too. But that's so much easier than doing this. Here I am on the daily. I come over here and I zoom down and I say, there's my 30-day, 30-minute or 10-day, 30-minute. Look how long that took. I mean, that took a long time and it's not set up the way I want, etc. So I'm just going to go back to where I was before on the daily. I'm going to set this up as a grid to get me there quickly. And how I do that, you've got to select this box to the right of that right pointing arrow right there. Now, you can set it up top here. If you really want to knock yourself out, wow. I mean, you can really go far on something like this, right? That's a total of 32 charts. And that would list like you'd have 32 charts listed. I'll just show it to you. That's what it looks like if you really wanted to have that many. But I'm going to go back now. Notice if I click on it, I can go back to my saved grid chart. And how I set this up is you can click on here, select whatever number you want or the way you want it to look, and then you want to set up each one of those charts. And then, by the way, before you're done, make sure you save the grid. And what did I save the grid as, folks? Exactly what it is, so I recognize it, right? You want to be able to do that. Okay. I'm going to show you how to add studies too, Sam. Exactly, Sam. I know Sam knows how to do it, but just throwing that in, right? So that is a very quick way, just using arrows to click through and find what I want. And here's that weekly, 15-year weekly. Another really cool tool that I have to say is the zoom in and also consequently the zoom out on the chart. 15 years is a long time. If I wanted to look at the more, let's say a 3-year weekly chart, we're back to our left click and hold or drag and drop. So holding the left mouse button and pulling over the range I'm after, simply let go and I've zoomed in on it. Now, I can't use the mouse to zoom back out. I can only use the mouse to zoom in. I can use the pointer down here and drag the scroll bar so I keep that same time frame. In other words, let's say a 3-year weekly going back over those 15 years, I've got that capability. I'm still dragging and holding, right? If I wanted to back out, you got to go right over here into these little, plus or minus magnifying glasses. And you probably know which, I mean, we'd be looking at the minus now. We want to zoom back out. Click, click, click. Keep clicking it till you're all the way out and you got it. Now, if I wanted to zoom in and just do a particular time frame, like how did we do over this COVID scenario, for this particular whatever we're looking at here, S&P 500 index, you can come over here and just pull it up just like that. And you can see it. See it come down? There you have it over that time frame. Now, what I'm going to do here too, I'm just going to come over here and I'm just simply going to save this grid as real quick. Okay, I'm just going to save that grid. So it has the S&P 500 index every time I pull it up as well. It'll just be listed right there. So it's really nice. Oh, double click will zoom back out. Thank you, Robert. Isn't that cool? So Robert's very knowledgeable on the platform, and I haven't done this, but let's do this. Oh, beautiful. Hey, that's good news to me. Hey, this is where I come in and I get some of these tools. Folks, zoom in, double click to zoom out. Thank you very much, Robert, for that. All right, Robert. And for the next one, let's turn it over to Robert. I'm kidding. No, but that was awesome. Appreciate you showing that right there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, can I share the grid I'm using? Yes, I can. And I just saved it. It'll pop up the S&P 500 index every time. Let's do that right now. Let's go over here and I'm just going to share that grid. This is a great way to show you how to share grids too. Okay. We'll throw this into the bonus section. Good question. So here I am. I'm in that grid and it's not a think script. Think scripts aren't guaranteed for time, Mr. Accuracy, but I'm not in there. This is just simply a grid that will have this for you. It just says EMF. Those are my initials. I'm going to click right here and just click on share. Now I'm going to put this in, get you guys started on this grid. This is the 10, 30, and 5. And you know what? It's the weekly as well at the end if you want to add that in. But here it is right there. Now, once you see that, I just put it into the chat. You guys on the recording, I don't know if you caught it, but it's just, I'll put it under the description section, under more, under the YouTube video as well, so you guys can tap into it too. Copy that link, and you're going to have to do this to get it over to your grid charts. So go up top, and anytime you get a shared item, you just need to know where it's going so you can find it. If I share it as a grid, you're going to find it in the grids. So do this, copy that, go up to the top, upper right-hand corner into setup. It's similar on a Mac, just look for setup. It's not exactly in that same spot on a Mac, but it's close. Left click, go down to open shared item right there. And with that open shared item, simply just copy that, or I should say, I'm sorry, paste it because you've already copied it into the chat box. Control V, I'm on a PC. Command V on a Mac. Click on preview here, and there you go. Just click on import. Now I've already got it, so I don't want to import it again. But if you do that, and then you are in charts, go to the far right, go under the grid charts, and you'll find it right in here. It'll get you started. And it will have in here like RSI, money flow, and a few of the other indicators I've got in here listed. But those are the different time frames that could be utilized. Feel free to change them if you want. Just remember, if you do change them and you want them to stay that way, you've got to go in here and save that grid as. It will pull up this box for any permanent updates you're looking to make. Then click on save right here and you got it. Right there, okay? So that was a good, cool transition into one of the bonus features. And look at all this. You guys are providing some really good context within here to in addition. So love the comments in the comments and the notes here as well. All right. Um, let's see. Yeah, can you show pan and quickly a quick way to switch between and pointer arrow? Pan and pointer arrow. So like if you're panning through like this, you just highlight if we're talking about the chart, which is what we're on. So I think that's what we're referring to. I can come down here and move that scroll bar and sort of pan through a particular range. That would be one way to do it. We also talked about double clicking to come back out of that time frame. These are set at a 1 year. You'll notice over here, I can just right click, right click, right click to get through them. Click left or right to move each chart. By the way, to the far left, there's this little arrow over here that minimizes the cell, and it puts all of them in line like this. Now, there's some cool things you can do. Like say, for example, down here, I have, say, for example, let's see, I like the market forecast down over here too. You see this? I've got all these set up different charts in here to look at that I can use and just kind of share some information with clients generally if I'm sending out X posts or whatnot as well. On a quick note on that, folks, if you're getting value out of this discussion here, consider giving us a like, liking the presentation, and love to have you follow us as well on our Trader Talks channel. I'll go ahead and pull that up right now so you can see it. It is right here. And a lot of great stuff from Ben over here, but love to have you subscribe and through here as well. Now, a quick note, I did want to show you some scan tab features as well. And I've got to show you a couple things on the chart real quick too. But I'm going to be creating some scans and doing some scans into tomorrow where we'll expand on those scans and we'll have stuff like out of Think Script where we're building specific Think scripts as well. So let me just copy this link and I'll show you this over here into the chat. I'll just throw that into the chat box. This is the ThinkScript classes. So this will give you some ideas if you're looking at maybe specific indicators and other things too to check out. And I just showed you because we share those ThinkScripts and I just showed you how to add them to, you can add them to charts or to scans, another cool tool. By the way, folks, too, over here, one of the cool tools I wanted to highlight too is anytime you wanted to see if prices were breaking below a particular range, let's say, for example, we were looking at Amazon over here. If Amazon was going to break below, let's say this, maybe some long-term support right through here, some prior highs and obviously higher as well. But let's say we wanted to see if it could break below this level, just right click on it, come down here under create. So right click on the mouse, create alert, pulls up a box, and you can just have this alert you if it's above or below the point that the level I just pointed to. So I'm going to go below in this case, and I could just say trading lower or trading, make it more specific, below support. Now, the computer would note this, and the computer could tell me like based on a sound, and I could get a notification into messages up top if that's the case. Okay. I could also have it emailed to me. In addition, I could also have it texted to me. Now, to do that, you've got to make sure down below under notify with, click on the little drop down, scroll bar it down, make sure you get those send push notifications right there to get it to your mobile phone. Now, up top here under setup, right click, and then do this for me. Go down here and go into application settings. Great place to change some items. Notifications, just put it into the notifications area to be notified. Notice over here, you can add a phone number, you can add an email address, other things as well, like notifications, sound notifications too. But and that's a great little tool. I'm gonna go ahead and just I could have sent it through, but anyways, I got you guys that point. Quick note on alerts. Alerts aren't guaranteed to be delivered or delivered at any specific speed or time frame and should not be used as a replacement for actively being aware of your positions. Now, that's true. Have I had any issues with alerts not coming out? I really haven't. But we're just saying, hey, in active markets, there's things that could go down. There's no alternative to actually, watching your positions, but it's a great tool, specifically if stocks are breaking above a longer term range or something. that you hadn't seen before. I mean, stuff like that, I had an alert that hit after prices, it took 2 years to break above a particular resistance level. And I got notified very, very quickly within, maybe 10 seconds as well. So a quick note too, futures and futures options trading involves substantial risk, not suitable for all investors. In case we did flash some futures in here too, but we just look at futures charts anyways as well. With all that being said, quickly to add in here an indicator that is on our charts right there, our little drop down. So the quickest way, so again, making it easier for yourself, instead of scrolling down, just start typing it in, folks. This is just a massive list. If I wanted the RSI, it finds it very quickly. Double click. I've actually already got one. I don't need two, but you can add it that way. Remember to make adjustments to any indicators right there on the wheel. Click on that wheel and you've got a great way to do it there. I'm going to kill that bottom one. Very good. Okay. Now, a quick note as well. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Gosh, you guys have some good stuff. This is a a good I'm glad you guys made it live so you can see this in the charts because there excuse me in the chat because there's a lot of good info being put in there too as well. But hey, I wanted to just show you too um over here, the Analyze tab, some really interesting information you can take a look at. Just I found to be very, very helpful. Let me just show you a few. You can get economic data over here. You throw in the symbol. You actually hit the home over here. A quick note on this here too. This product does use FRED, which is Federal Reserve Bank but the API is not endorsed or certified by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. But I mean, this could be very interesting too if you're looking for banking, exchange rates, interest rates in general, ADP numbers. You want to get charts on here? You've got a whole list of these you can bring right in and take a look at as well. Okay. Now, there are fundamentals in here, which is a great tool because yeah, you can look at this information right at your fingertips that you can download here from analysts. There's star ratings in here. You can see what recent reports there are. Just under Analyze, sub-tab Fundamentals, scroll on down. Look at all this under your actual numbers over here too. Your weekly numbers, excuse me, annual numbers, quarterly numbers. At the bottom here, you're getting valuation, relative valuations, and growth rates. So some good stuff. Quick tool here under earnings. You're getting how the company did over the past 2 years, right on the earnings date. Did they gap down? Did they go up? And also this earnings per share. Very helpful. Is the trend of a company's earnings ticking higher? Because a lot of times investors like to see the trend of earnings going higher with the trend of stocks going higher too. They don't want to see earnings going down as the share price is going, excuse me, as earnings are going up, or the share price going up as earnings are going down. Also, quick comparison. What were the Wall Street expectations? Wow, Amazon did pretty well over here relative to expectations, but you can see great tool. Now, I'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, but under the scan tab, I wanted to just kind of highlight this for you guys. You can build different sorts of scans. Like this is one I was working on just for a little post that we've got over here to look at. But a quick note, notice over here, this is referred to as the condition wizard. I'm going to show you some of these tools and some recent adjustments to it in tomorrow's ThinkScript class if you're interested. But what does this show? It just shows when we might be getting uh, market forecast clusters. This is a proprietary tool off the Thinkorswim website. And if you click on OK here, I can scan for this and just show you there were 34 companies that they had across uh, of the market forecast all below 20. And this is something that some traders will look for all below the 20 level. And so you can look at that, but it's a good quick tool. I could say something like this in the scan tab, stock trading above a particular moving average. I'll hit that tomorrow in that ThinkScript class that I just mentioned for you guys, but we are out of time. I know I tried to hit as many as I could. I know I did more than 10. Okay, we got some more bonuses in there. We probably had 10 bonuses as well. But be sure to follow Ben and I on X as well if you're interested. We do post financially related content on there as well. Ben Watson CS. I am, Mike Fairborn CS. I can just quickly highlight this here for you just to kind of show you what these look like. Many of you already follow us, but yeah, if you're interested in doing that, love to have you on board as well, where we do post that kind of content related in here too, like different kinds of scenarios and setups that you might see. That's something totally different. But having said that, post that into the chat real quick. Everybody, it was awesome being here with you, and look forward to future discussions. And hopefully this was helpful and useful. Just keep working on that Thinkorswim platform. You do get very used to it, and a lot of it is just spending enough time getting familiar with it so that you know the places on the Thinkorswim platform that you'll use the most. There's a lot here that I don't use, but there's a lot that I do use because it's just part of my own trading style, my investing style as well. And so just getting more familiar with it, just keep up with it. It can be very, very helpful. Just, you know, a few days a week at least to really kind of get to understand where things are at. But on that, thank you, Ben, so much for your help in the chat. It's been great being with you. Have a fantastic rest of the day. See you next time.